For me, and I know for her too, is we like the mission that the church has. We like training the next generation and supporting missionaries. When Alicia and we got married, we always like missions, and that's a thing we've always wanted to do, right? Be missionaries, do a mission. And for a while, I know we're in a stage where we're raising the kids, and we're in this part of life. The way we can support that, like the Word of God, getting out there, is supporting missions in the church.
I have a calling for missions and just supporting missionaries, and I think it stems more from I grew up in a church thinking that I was good, that I was going to go to heaven. And somebody took time to introduce me to Jesus. And even though I had read the Word of God in the church and going to Catholic church, it just never made sense to me until it was presented in this way. And I think, somebody took time to share Jesus with me, and I just want Jesus to be shared with the world. We've been givers for a long, long time, but we just have fun now. Because God, once you become sensitive to God talking to you, it's almost like, what did God tell you? And like, write it down. No, you write it down, and then we'll write it and trade it to see. And God has confirmed so many over time. And it's just exciting in that way. But He will confirm to both of us. We just put it in prayer, and and God will give us a number, like every time, and most of the time, I don't think we've ever been unaligned with it either. So. It's fun. Like about 15 years ago, we did our David Ramsey course, and then I became a David Ramsey facilitator at our church, right? So we were getting those principles in. And one of the things is I had never had a desire to be wealthy. I wanted to be a missionary, so I never had a desire to be wealthy until I realized that if I have more money, I can give more money. And so because that's our purpose, I don't have a desire to have money for just to have money. It's because I can be able to give it. I think that already was like planted within us. But also in our previous church, anytime we were growing anything in our church or like changing out the chairs, the pastor would teach us, pray about it. How many chairs do you want to pay for? And I remember it like, I used to be the only one that would go to my church. Like I was the first one saved in my family, and it was before I even met my husband that I would think like I had always prayed for like 11 chairs. My brother, my sister, his wife, my mom, and so I'm like, I'm going to pay for these 11 chairs. And then pastor would say, now think in addition to those, how many more do you want? And so it's a way of thinking like, how much do we want to expand the Word of God? And I think that helped start building because those 11 chairs got filled, like my mom and my dad and my sister and my brother, and then I had a husband, I had children, started filling up those chairs. And so God has always been faithful, and as we're listening to Him as He starts growing our family.
I see the way that the youth are excited about God, and like they're passionate. Like you can see it. They show up and they get up there and they're praising God, and they do praise and worship, and they're like into it big time. So to me, seeing that they're enjoying a place to do that and having like all the things they need to facilitate that and all that, I want them to know, right, to be able to learn and know the truth and have a place for them to be able to go and be comfortable. And when I was a kid, like the church my parents used to take me was very legalistic and maybe wasn't like the best at explaining, So growing up, I had a lot of doubts, and I was like always thinking what I would hear at church, and I would always like when I would pray, like, God, I don't think that this is it. There's got to be more to life than what they're saying. So I think a place where where the new generation can go and listen to the truth, and where they get a good message and it's explained correctly, I think that's very important. I'm Javier.
I'm Alicia.
And we are the Ramirezes.